Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all today. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. Today, we will be discussing GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or API. This is part 5 of our series. Over the course of this presentation, we will cover key aspects of GMP practices specific to API production, including quality control, regulatory compliance, and best manufacturing practices. I look forward to sharing insights and engaging with you throughout this session. Let's get started. Now, let's talk about the responsibilities of the quality unit or units involved in this process. These responsibilities are clearly outlined in writing, and it's important to note that the main responsibilities cannot be delegated to others. The quality unit is involved in all matters related to quality, ensuring integrity and compliance throughout the process. One of their key roles is to review and approve all relevant quality-related documents. This includes standard operating procedures, specifications, and master production instructions. By doing so, they ensure that everything aligns with regulatory standards and company policies. They also have the critical task of releasing or rejecting raw materials, intermediates, and packaging materials. This step is vital because it directly impacts the quality of the final product. Similarly, they are responsible for releasing or rejecting intermediates and active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. Another essential responsibility is reviewing completed records, such as batch records and laboratory control data. This review guarantees that all procedures were followed correctly and that the product meets all quality criteria. Finally, the quality unit must ensure that any critical deviations encountered during manufacturing are thoroughly investigated and properly resolved. Addressing deviations promptly helps maintain the integrity of the process and ensures patient safety. All these responsibilities work together to uphold the standards of good manufacturing practices for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, which is the core theme of this part of our presentation. Now, let's take a closer look at the responsibilities of the quality unit, or units involved in GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients. First, it's essential that they ensure all self-inspections are conducted thoroughly and regularly. These inspections help us identify any potential issues early and maintain compliance. Next, they have the authority to approve intermediate and API contract manufacturers, which means they play a key role in selecting and overseeing our manufacturing partners. This approval process is critical to ensure that quality standards are met across the supply chain. They also approve any quality-impacting changes. That includes changes to processes, equipment, or materials that could influence the quality of the API. This helps us maintain consistency and compliance throughout production. Reviewing and approving validation protocols and reports is another vital responsibility. Validation confirms that our processes reliably produce quality products, so this review ensures we meet all necessary standards and specifications. The quality unit is also responsible for ensuring investigations into quality-related complaints are carried out thoroughly and that issues are resolved promptly. Addressing complaints effectively helps us prevent recurrence and improve our processes. Finally, they must ensure effective systems are in place for maintaining and calibrating critical equipment. Proper calibration and maintenance are fundamental to producing APIs that meet quality requirements consistently. All these responsibilities collectively support our overall goal of maintaining high-quality standards in active pharmaceutical ingredients, ensuring safety and efficacy for patients. Now, let's take a closer look at the responsibilities of the quality unit. First, it's essential that they ensure materials are appropriately tested. This means verifying that the raw materials and components meet the necessary quality standards before they go into production. Once testing is complete, they also have the responsibility to report the results accurately, providing transparency and traceability. Next, the quality unit must ensure that we have solid stability data. This data supports our decisions on retest or expiry dates, as well as storage conditions. Essentially, They confirm that the product remains safe and effective throughout its shelf life under specified conditions. Another critical responsibility is performing product quality reviews. These reviews help us identify any trends or issues that might impact product quality, allowing us to take proactive measures. All of these responsibilities tie directly into our broader goal of maintaining good manufacturing practices, especially for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. Ensuring high quality at each step helps us deliver safe, effective medicines to patients. Let's now turn our attention to laboratory control, a crucial aspect of GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. In this part of the presentation, we'll explore how laboratory controls ensure the quality, safety, and efficacy of APIs throughout the manufacturing process. Laboratory control involves systematic testing and analysis of raw materials, in-process samples, and finished products. This helps us verify that each batch meets specified standards. It's not just about meeting regulatory requirements, it's about safeguarding patient health by ensuring consistent product quality. Key points include the importance of validated analytical methods, proper sampling techniques, and thorough documentation. These elements help maintain accuracy and reproducibility in testing, which is vital for compliance and quality assurance. Connecting this to the overall theme, laboratory control is the backbone of GMP. It provides the scientific evidence that our APIs are of the highest quality. It also supports ongoing process improvement and regulatory compliance, which are essential for bringing safe and effective medicines to patients worldwide. Now, let's discuss laboratory control records. These records are essential because they include complete data from all tests conducted on our samples. This ensures that we are meeting all specifications and standards. When we talk about these records, they should cover examinations and assays, among other tests. It's important to include a detailed description of the samples. That means noting the sample's name, batch number or code, the date it was received for testing, and the quantity of the sample. This helps us keep track of each sample's journey through testing. We also need to specify the test methods used for each analysis. Whether it's a chemical assay or a physical examination, referencing the exact method ensures transparency and reproducibility. Additionally, records should include the weight or measure of the sample used for each test, as per the specified method. This detail is crucial because the accuracy of our testing depends on it. Lastly, we should keep data related to the preparation and testing of reference standards, reagents, and standard solutions. Cross-referencing this information helps verify the validity of our test results. All of this ties into the broader GMP requirements for active pharmaceutical ingredients, ensuring that every step is documented, traceable, and compliant. These control records are a vital part of maintaining quality and consistency in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Let's talk about laboratory control records and what they should include to ensure compliance with our specifications and standards. First, these records must encompass complete data from all tests conducted, including examinations and assays. This means capturing all raw data like graphs, charts, and spectra, which provide the detailed evidence of the testing process. Next, it's important to document any calculations performed during testing, such as units of measure, conversion factors, and any other computational details. This transparency helps verify the accuracy and consistency of our results. We also need a clear comparison of test results against the acceptance criteria, along with a statement confirming whether the product meets the specified standards. This comparison is crucial for quality assurance. Additionally, each record should include the date when the test was performed and the signature of the person who carried out it. To ensure integrity and accuracy, a second qualified person must review these records, also signing and dating them to confirm they are complete and correct. All these elements collectively support our GMP compliance for active pharmaceutical ingredients, ensuring that every step of testing is documented thoroughly, transparently, and verifiably. Now, let's talk about some important records we need to keep throughout the process. First, any modifications to an established analytical method must be thoroughly documented. This helps ensure consistency and traceability. Next, periodic calibration of laboratory instruments, including gauges and recording devices, is essential to maintain accuracy. We also need to record all stability testing performed on APIs, since this data is crucial for ensuring product quality over time. Lastly, out-of-specification investigations must be properly documented to address any deviations and prevent future issues. Maintaining complete and accurate records of these activities is vital to uphold good manufacturing practices for active pharmaceutical ingredients and ensure the integrity of our quality system. Now, let's move on to the batch production record review process. As part of our quality assurance, we follow a strict SOP for reviewing and approving all batch production and laboratory control records. This includes details related to packaging and labeling, and these are reviewed by the relevant quality units to ensure everything is in order. Before any batch is released, it must meet all specified criteria, and this is also thoroughly reviewed and approved by the quality units to ensure compliance. We also review all deviation reports, investigations, and out-of-specification results, or OOS reports, to address any issues that may arise during production. It's important to note that delegation to the production unit for the release of intermediates is permitted, but only excluding those that are shipped outside the control of the manufacturing company. This helps maintain oversight and ensures quality standards are upheld throughout the process. This review process is a critical part of our GMP compliance for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, specifically covered in Part V. It's all about maintaining rigorous control, ensuring quality at every step, and ultimately delivering safe, effective products to patients. Let's now move on to Slide 10, which focuses on sampling within the context of GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. Sampling is a critical step in ensuring the quality and consistency of the products we produce. It involves selecting representative portions of raw materials, in-process materials, or finished products for testing. This step helps us verify that each batch meets the required quality standards before release. Sampling must be done carefully and systematically to avoid contamination or bias. Proper sampling techniques are essential to obtain a true representation of the entire batch. This includes using appropriate tools, following standardized procedures, and ensuring samples are stored correctly. Remember, the goal of sampling is to provide reliable data for quality control tests, thereby safeguarding patient safety and maintaining regulatory compliance. It's a key part of the overall GMP framework that supports consistent product quality from raw material to final product. So, in essence, sampling is not just about taking a piece of material. It's about ensuring that what we analyze accurately reflects the entire batch, helping us uphold the integrity of our manufacturing process. Now, let's talk about the sampling and testing of incoming production materials. It's crucial that we verify the identity of each batch of material before it's used in manufacturing. This typically involves at least one test to confirm that the material matches what we expect. In many cases, a certificate of analysis, or COA, can be used instead of performing additional tests, but only if the manufacturer has a reliable system in place to evaluate their suppliers. This means we need to trust that the COA accurately reflects the quality of the material and that the supplier is consistently providing compliant products. Supplier approval is a key part of this process. It involves evaluating the supplier's ability to deliver quality material over time, often looking at their past quality history as solid evidence. Once a supplier is approved, we usually perform full analyses on at least 3 batches. This helps us establish confidence in their consistency before we start reducing the amount of testing. Even after that, regular checks of COAs and periodic full analyses at appropriate intervals are necessary to maintain quality assurance. This ongoing oversight ensures that the active pharmaceutical ingredients meet our standards and that the entire process remains compliant with good manufacturing practices. Now, let's discuss the sampling and testing procedures for incoming production materials. Generally, there is no need to test processing aids, hazardous or highly toxic raw materials, other special materials, or materials that are transferred to another unit within the company. The key point here is that if the Certificate of Analysis, or COA, clearly shows that these materials meet the specifications, then on-site testing can be justified and documented as unnecessary. This approach helps streamline the process while maintaining quality assurance. When it comes to sampling, the focus is on ensuring the sample truly represents the entire batch. This involves defining a clear sampling plan, which includes deciding how many containers to sample and which parts of those containers to draw from. The amount of material sampled is also critical. All of these decisions should consider the criticality and variability of the material, the past quality history of the supplier, and how much material is needed for analysis. It's important to tailor the sampling approach to these factors to ensure reliability and consistency in quality control. This process underscores the importance of a well-structured sampling plan to support good manufacturing practices for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. By doing so, we help ensure that every batch meets the required quality standards before it goes into production. Now, let's discuss the sampling and testing procedures for incoming production materials. It's crucial to perform sampling at defined locations to ensure consistency and representativeness. The procedures are carefully designed to prevent contamination, both of the sampled material itself and of other materials in the process. When taking samples, we use specific containers that are opened with care to avoid introducing any impurities. After sampling, these containers are reclosed properly, maintaining the integrity of the sample. It's also important to mark the containers clearly to indicate that a sample has been taken, which helps with traceability and quality control. These practices are part of good manufacturing practices for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, and they help us maintain the highest quality standards throughout the production process. By following these guidelines, we ensure that every batch meets the required specifications and that our testing is both reliable and valid. Now, let's talk about validation. As we discussed earlier, this involves a series of activities, policies, and approaches to ensure that processes are consistently reliable and effective. Validation is a critical component because it helps us confirm that our methods and systems meet predetermined quality standards. It's not just a one-time event, but an ongoing process that supports quality assurance throughout production. Moving on to GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, this is part V of our series. Here, the focus is on ensuring that every step in API manufacturing complies with good manufacturing practices. Validation in this context is especially important because APIs are the core components of medicines, and their quality directly impacts patient safety. Throughout this section, you'll see that validation is not just about checking boxes. It's about building a robust framework that guarantees the quality, safety, and efficacy of the APIs we produce. This aligns with our overall goal of maintaining high standards and regulatory compliance in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Let's talk about the validation of analytical methods. First, a method is considered validated unless it's included in a relevant pharmacopoeia or another recognized standard reference. This means that if a method is validated, it has been thoroughly tested and proven reliable under specific conditions. It's also essential to verify the suitability of all testing methods used, and this verification must be done under actual conditions of use. Plus, proper documentation of this process is crucial to ensure traceability and compliance. Before starting the validation process, we should consider the appropriate qualification of the analytical equipment. Ensuring equipment is properly qualified helps guarantee accurate and consistent results throughout validation. And if any modifications are made to a validated analytical method, complete records are a must. This includes documenting the reason for the change and providing data that verifies the modified method still produces results that are as accurate and reliable as the original. All of these points are fundamental to maintaining high standards in pharmaceutical manufacturing, especially when it comes to active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. This ensures that the methods we use are not only validated, but also fit for purpose, supporting the overall quality and safety of the final product. Now, let's take a closer look at contracted activities, specifically focusing on manufacturers and quality control laboratories. These entities play a crucial role in ensuring that our active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, meet the high standards required for quality and safety. When we talk about manufacturing, we're referring to the processes involved in producing APIs under strict regulatory compliance. It's essential that these manufacturers adhere to good manufacturing practices, or GMP, to guarantee consistency and quality. Similarly, quality control laboratories are responsible for testing and verifying that the APIs meet specified standards. They perform rigorous analyses to detect any impurities or deviations. Both manufacturers and QC labs are integral to maintaining the integrity of the supply chain. This section ties into our overall theme of GMP for APIs by emphasizing the importance of contracting only qualified, compliant partners. Their activities ensure that the APIs we rely on are safe, effective, and of consistent quality, which ultimately safeguards patient health and supports regulatory compliance. Now, let's talk about contract manufacturers, including laboratories, and how we evaluate them to ensure GMP compliance. The contract giver must thoroughly assess these contract manufacturers before engaging their services. This involves reviewing and approving a written contract or a formal agreement that clearly outlines responsibilities and expectations. An important aspect of this agreement is the right for the contract giver to audit the manufacturer's facilities whenever necessary. This helps maintain oversight and ensure ongoing compliance. When it comes to subcontracting, it's crucial that no third party is involved without prior evaluation and approval. This keeps the supply chain transparent and controlled. Records must be kept on-site and readily available for inspection. This documentation is vital for traceability and accountability. Additionally, a robust change control system is essential. Any changes to processes or procedures require prior approval to prevent deviations from GMP standards. All these points are key to maintaining quality and compliance when working with contract manufacturers, especially in the context of active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. Ensuring strict oversight and clear agreements helps us uphold the integrity of our products throughout the manufacturing process. Now, let's turn our attention to the various entities involved in the active pharmaceutical ingredients supply chain: agents, brokers, traders, distributors, repackers, and relabelers. Each of these plays a crucial role in ensuring the right ingredients reach the right places at the right time. When we talk about GMP for APIs, it's important to recognize that these entities must operate in strict compliance with good manufacturing practices to maintain product quality and safety. Agents and brokers often facilitate the sourcing process, connecting manufacturers with buyers, but they must adhere to GMP standards to ensure that the ingredients they handle are genuine and uncontaminated. Traders and distributors then take on the responsibility of transporting and delivering these ingredients, making sure that all handling processes preserve the API's integrity. Repackers and relabelers, on the other hand, are involved in packaging and labeling, which are critical steps for traceability and compliance with regulatory requirements. Overall, whether you're involved directly in manufacturing or in the supporting roles like distribution or repackaging, maintaining GMP standards is essential to protect patient safety and uphold the integrity of the pharmaceutical supply chain. This slide highlights how each of these stakeholders must work within the GMP framework to ensure quality across the entire API lifecycle. Now, let's talk about the different parties involved in handling active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. This includes agents, brokers, traders, distributors, repackers, and relabelers. It's crucial that all of these entities comply with good manufacturing practices, or GMP, to ensure the quality and safety of the APIs. One of the key aspects here is maintaining complete traceability of the APIs and intermediates. This means keeping thorough documentation at every step. For example, you should have records of the original manufacturer's identity and address. Purchase orders and bills of lading are essential to track transportation and supply chain details. Receipt documents confirm when the API or intermediate was received, and it's important to note the specific name or designation of the product. You also need to record the manufacturer's batch number, which helps trace back to a specific production run. Transportation and distribution records are vital for tracking the movement of these materials, and all certificates of analysis, especially those from the original manufacturer, must be kept on file. These certificates confirm the quality and compliance of the product. Finally, retest or expiry dates are critical to ensure the API remains effective and safe for use. All these documentation practices are fundamental to GMP for APIs, ensuring transparency, accountability, and ultimately, the safety of the medicines we rely on. They connect directly to our overall goal of maintaining high-quality standards throughout the entire supply chain. When it comes to quality management, it's essential that all parties involved, agents, brokers, traders, distributors, repackers, or relabelers, have an effective quality management system in place. This helps ensure that every step of handling and distribution maintains the integrity of the product. Repackaging, relabeling, and holding materials must be done under appropriate good manufacturing practice, or GMP, conditions. This is vital to avoid mix-ups and to prevent the loss of the product's identity or purity. Proper management at this stage safeguards the quality and efficacy of the pharmaceutical ingredients. It's equally important that repackaging occurs under suitable environmental conditions. This helps prevent contamination and cross-contamination, which can compromise the safety and quality of the active pharmaceutical ingredients. Maintaining strict environmental controls is a core part of GMP to ensure product integrity. And as we focus on GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, particularly in Part V, these principles are fundamental. They reinforce the importance of strict quality standards throughout the entire supply chain. Ultimately, this all ties back to our overarching goal, ensuring the safety, efficacy, and quality of the medicines we produce and distribute. Let's talk about stability studies first. These are essential to support the expiration or retest dates we assign, especially when the product has been repackaged into a different container than what the manufacturer of the API or intermediate originally used. Conducting these studies helps ensure the product remains effective and safe under the new packaging conditions. Next, it's crucial to transfer all relevant quality and regulatory information between the manufacturer and the customer. This means sharing data received from the manufacturer with the customer, and vice versa, to maintain transparency and traceability throughout the supply chain. We also need to provide the name of the original manufacturer and the batch numbers. This information is vital for traceability, quality assurance, and regulatory compliance. In addition, we must identify the manufacturer to regulatory authorities clearly. This helps in maintaining compliance with local and international regulations and ensures that all parties are accountable. Certificates of analysis are another key element. They verify that the product meets specified quality standards. You can refer to Section 11.4 for detailed guidance on these certificates. Finally, remember that all these practices are part of GMP for active pharmaceutical ingredients, which ensures that we produce high-quality, safe, and effective products consistently. These elements are interconnected and support the overall goal of maintaining integrity and compliance in our manufacturing processes. Let's now discuss the handling of complaints and recalls, which is a critical part of maintaining quality and safety in our operations. First, it's essential to keep thorough records of all complaints and recalls, as referenced in Section 15. This helps us track issues over time and identify patterns. When a complaint arises, we may review it directly with the manufacturer of the material involved. This collaborative review can help us understand the root cause more effectively. Any investigation into the cause of a complaint or a recall must be conducted thoroughly and properly documented by the responsible party. This ensures accountability and provides an audit trail for future reference. If a complaint is referred back to the original manufacturer, it's important to maintain detailed records of that communication. This includes any responses received, along with the date and the information provided. This way, we have a complete picture of the communication process. Additionally, when products are returned, as outlined in Section 14.5, we must keep careful documentation of those returns. This is part of our overall quality management process. Remember, handling complaints and recalls promptly and systematically helps us uphold the integrity of our active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, and ensures we meet GMP standards throughout our operations. For further support, please contact us. We're here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. If there's anything you'd like to discuss further, don't hesitate to reach out. We appreciate your engagement and look forward to assisting you.